you go to hell.
All right. Let me ask you something. If the rule you followed brought you to this, of what use was the rule?
Okay. Everything's working out. Everything's going. We need to freaking talk. So, where I kind of wanted to take this is, what does it mean to be open-minded? What does it mean to be flexible with the situation you're in? Usually when you're in a position where you need to think about being open-minded, it's because you're so bogged down with how things are turning out. You're stuck and you need to adapt, right? It's either adapt or fail. To me, it also means keeping an open mind to the unlimited potential that's inside all of us. Not allowing yourself to be limited by societal norms, by common convention, even, what's accepted as morality. Nietzsche talked about how in Thus Spoke Zarathustra, the morality of the common man can sometimes serve as a hindrance or as a tether for someone who wants to supersede themselves. It acts actually as a weight, as an anchor down, as a way for the would-be Superman to find an excuse to stay who they are. The best part about keeping an open mind is it's not required for others to participate. It's actually more about your own will and your own determination to find another path forward. And usually it comes with people acknowledging that you're going in the opposite direction that they would. So not only does it not require their participation in your mindset, sometimes it also invites this ridicule, this opposition.
Some stuff today that seems kind of dour, but it's also interesting, Do you think that peace is an option, and how would we get there? Do you feel like what has to adjust?
I think that for the longest time, we've trusted our leaders to...
I agree with you.
And
we thought they had our best interests.
That's right. And in fact, they're controlled by secret societies, and they're crazy people who want to achieve their eschatology. And it's time for us to wake up. And if we collectively wake up, then we will achieve peace in this world. But waking up is a hard process.
Yes.
As you know, right? It's a very hard process. It means going against social conventions. It means defying all that you've been taught. It means losing a lot of friends and family in the process.
At times, these people feel that they're doing it out of care for you because the common convention has worked out so well for everyone else. Why shouldn't it work out for you? But that's also not keeping an open mind. It's not keeping an open mind to what could happen. What is left on the table if we just continue doing the same thing as everyone else. Surprisingly or unsurprisingly, more people are talking about how our times seem like it's moving too fast, that things are moving so fast that it's almost engineered to make you forget that we can actually change things.
Is it the same in China?
Yes, exactly.
It's kind of heartbreaking sometimes. It's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if there's been like a slow sedation.
Yeah.
I can't tell what has occurred. I can't tell if, I don't know. It all just feels like we've lost some of our.
The great truth is that we're all spiritual beings.
That's
we are
true.
first and foremost spiritual beings.
That's true.
But materialism has corrupted us. We should be focused on our spiritual well-being, on our consciousness, on elevating ourselves, on being generous, on being open, on being spiritual. And now we live in a world where money is everything.
And it's always been up to us as a people, as the people of the world, to guide and direct where we want to go. But now, with so much new information, fluxing our brain, too many things going on either in the Middle East or at home or at our own schools, in our own environments, it seems like there's a stagnation of action. And now, instead of looking for what we can do about it, we just keep looking for better, cleverer, and more suitable sounding excuses.
That's simply not possible.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
One thing I've always come back to is something that I learned from a Wendigoon video. Probably put the link in the description. What he calls the rule of fire. And he got this based off of his movie review of No Country for Old Men.
We hear this story of a dark world and one man who carried a torch through it, so that when Sheriff Bell got there, that torch would be there, that light in the dark would exist to carry him through this journey.
And there was snow on the ground. He rode past me and kept on going, never said nothing going by, just rode on past. And he had his blanket wrapped around him and his head down. When he rode past, I seen he was carrying fire in a horn, the way people used to do, and I could see the horn from the light inside of it, about the color of the moon. And in the dream, I knew that he was going on ahead. And he's fixing to make a fire somewhere out there in all that dark and all that cold. And I knew that whenever I got there, he'd be there.
The rule of fire revolves around the fact that the world, in all of its chaotic structures and its chaotic nature, the world has always been a hard place for people. There's always been a cycle of violence, of wars, of death, and the fire carried by a select few courageous people is what has defined those times.
Long before the age of his dad, long before the good times as he would call it, alluding to the fact that nothing's really changed. And then Ellis says this.
What you got ain't nothing new. This country's hard on people. You can't stop what's coming. It ain't all waiting on you. That's vanity.
That idea, that concept, that's vanity. The feeling that the entire world is falling apart just because it's your fault and just because you aren't trying hard enough. The world has always been a cruel place. There's never been a better days. Ellis is saying that people want to look at the time that they're living in and say that it's the worst and no one else has had a struggle quite like theirs. But as Ellis points out, the struggle, the world, it's always been here. To think it's your job to save the world, and no matter how righteous your intentions are, to call it quits because the world is awful as it always has been, that's vanity.
It hasn't been the violence, it hasn't been the wars, it hasn't been the deaths. It's the fire that was inside individuals that has actually progressed us forward to where we are now. It's the individual. Which is why it's so important for people to understand that the power lies within you. It's not without you. The ability for us to protest, the ability for us to say and speak our minds. Not our ability not just to be fed up and then plateau, but our ability to be fed up and then actively change the world. It feels like that's been hindered, and I think it's for a reason.
So we just pursue materialism.
Right. You're so focused your whole life, and it's all built towards this. You got to go to school to get a grade,
That's
to
right.
get a college, to get a job, to get a thing, and then get it from a.
That's
and,
right.
And to get a house. Everything is like the next carrot. It's always something.
We are in the matrix.
Yeah.
And we have to wake up.
We are in the matrix. Hello. We're in here. We want out.
Whether it's secret societies, transnational capitalism, or just the idea that over time it gets harder, as we get older. I think it stays true. The rule of fire stays true. Times have always been hard. People have always doubted each other. People have always fought each other. And it's not like back then, things were simpler. Back then, things were better. Back then, people were kinder. Back then, people were less ignorant. And that's not the case. It's never been the case. It's only been just those people that I mentioned, those individuals that I mentioned that carry that fire in spite of it, that make it seem like it was cooler back in those days. And I think what's important as a people is for us to recognize that there could be a generation down the line that looks at us right here and thinks, man, those people were courageous. If it wasn't for those people, we wouldn't be here in this utopia. Man, maybe things were simpler back then, talking about us now, when we know it's not simple. Carry that fire within you, despite the cold, despite the dark. Move on and build that fire for others to come and seek warmth in your hearth. That's what I believe it's always been about. It's about seeking that inner resource to be able to give and compart with others. Whether that be love, whether that be charity, or that could just be a lending ear at times. What's important is that you recognize that you're here. Not only are you here, but you're also here for others. Those two are not mutually exclusive. You have to realize that you take up space, that you are your own person, that you are a being here, meant to experience this time. Possibly God in human form, possibly human in God form, who knows? But you are here. And it's not about where we come from, it's about why we do what we do. So be here. Find who you are. And then see what you can do for others. And that, to me, would always be the rule of fire. That, to me, is a good rule to live by. Now I'm sweating, speaking of fire, sweating. A little bit more about me and a little bit more about everything that's going on, before I go. As you can tell, I'm in a new place. This is not where I was recording my last video. So being in a new place and kind of trying to situate myself, it's become a little bit, of a process, I want to say, to, accommodate myself with the videos, with my exercise, because, you know, that's important for me, and also with my daily reading and my meditations and studying, just keeping a good reach around things that matter to me, while also, you know, keeping my 10 toes on the ground, you know, as far as being, you know, money savvy, you know, place savvy, not taking advantage, while also trying my best to live by my own principles. And, you know, it's an ongoing process, and that's honestly the best part about doing this, is that you can do it anywhere. You just have to find the chutzpah to really get it going, to really set yourself in motion. You know, for example, I had a really great day today trying to get things done as far as paperwork and logistics and business, and it was important to me to get those things done. And then I actually had time to, you know, sleep and take a nap, and food ready for me. Thank God, you know. I have people around me that take care of me, and I try my best to take care of them. And I try to get my important things done first. So I went to the gym. And then after the gym, taking a shower, called up my mama, and make sure she was doing okay. And then I had the option to eat my food, you know, simple, get some stuff done, and, you know, just relax, watch some TV. But then I felt that I could use this hunger to make this. I could use the hunger to get my words out, you know, have a little push in that direction, that you can feel me, you know. And I think that's what matters. It's you use every little bit that you can to just squeeze out as much of your soul as you can. It's important to have a place to express yourself freely. Not just with people, but, you know, I think as far as your craft, you know, what's your craft? It all comes from getting to know yourself and what you can do for others. Maybe these words, I guess I'll share not just my words. I want to share something I heard from a YouTube channel, Elisha Long, I think. He said, "There's wolves at the gates. There's hounds at our heels. Good, because soon they will know we are lions." And that has stuck with me. So, we are lions. Let the wolves come, let the hounds come, because we are hungry, and we feed off of that opposition. I'm going to keep doing what I can to progress my craft despite what happens, because that is to carry that inner resource. And this has all been about that, an expression of that inner resource. And I'm happy that you're here with me. And I'm happy that you can see me along the journey. And I'm happy to be able to explain a little bit more about it each and every time that I can. It's important to me, and I hope it comes across that way. I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate you for being here. And I really am grateful for the opportunity to be here. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Puts you on a lower state of being. It puts you on a lower level. Trying to get back, trying to have revenge is all a low state of being that actually confines you to the prison of the world and the mind. When you don't have a lack, when you give freely, like there was this guy, I remember I was at the gas station and I saw him, and you know, he was just sitting there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy him a Powerade, and I bought him the Powerade. I handed it to him. He's like, man, I ain't fucking thirsty.